Number 7, please. Hi, I'm Amy. I'm one of the counselors here. Would you like to come on back and have a seat?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Come on. Right this way. So, what would you like me to call you?
Judy's fine.
Okay, Judy. So, what brings you here today, Judy?
Well, I was over at the health clinic and they said that I had this infection.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to talk to me about this stuff, but I didn't have time. I had to get to work. So this place was closer and they told me to come over here and talk to somebody.
So this can be some pretty hard stuff to talk about, huh?
Well, I mean, it's embarrassing. And they said I needed to do something about AIDS or something.
So, like you say, it's embarrassing, but hey, you got yourself here today. That's great. So, Judy, why do you think they wanted you to talk about AIDS?
Well, they said I got this infection, and you can get AIDS the same way I got this infection. And so...
It's hard to believe that AIDS could have anything to do with you, huh?
Well, it's not like I sleep around with a lot of guys or something, or shoot drugs or hang out with druggies, so I mean...
So, you're telling me some things that you know about AIDS and about HIV that has something to do with people having sex, using drugs. Look, I don't want to bore you. Why don't you tell me what you've heard?
Well, I know you can get it from sleeping with someone who is infected. You can get it from sharing needles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure babies can get it from their mothers, and I know that some people have gotten it from getting blood, like that Ryan White kid, right?
Right, you're exactly right, and you know a lot. So, I guess that brings us back to the question of, what does that have to do with you?
Okay, well, I know I got this infection, but that doesn't mean I have AIDS. And I can't believe I'm talking about this.
I know this has been really hard to deal with. I mean, learning about this infection and thinking about what else that can mean.
Well, I never had nothing like this before, or had to talk about this stuff or anything.
So I bet it took a lot of nerve to come in here today, huh?
Yeah. And if it hadn't been for my friend Donna, she came down with me here today on my lunch break, I probably wouldn't have come.
She's a good friend. So why do you think she wanted you to keep the appointment, Judy?
Well, I was talking to her when I got back from the clinic, and Donna was saying, you know, maybe you should go down there and talk to those people. I mean, it's not like either one of you were virgins.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about what Donna said?
Well, I don't want to get AIDS. But, no, I haven't been messing around. And it's only been Rob since New Year's.
Only having sex with one person who's only having sex with you is a good way to protect yourself. Here's the hard part, Judy. It's like they told you at the clinic. You get HIV the same way you got this infection. So how do you think you got this infection?
Well, I guess I must have gotten it from Rob. Like I said, he is the only person I've been with since New Year's.
So how do you feel about being in this relationship with Rob, thinking that he might have given you this infection?
Oh, me and Donna were talking about that on the way down here today, and I mean, it's like I have been avoiding him for the last week. I told him that I have a really bad cold. And I know I should be mad at him, but guys just do that. And it was probably just a sex thing. You know, because I really believe that he loves me, that we get along together so great.
So you believe that he loves you, but it hurts to think about him having sex with someone else. And even though it hurts, even though it's hard to think about him having sex with other people, you still want to stay with him?
Yes, I guess so.
And that means having sex with Rob could lead to infection, even HIV?
Wow, I don't want to think about that.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to do so you don't get HIV or anything else?
Well, I guess we could use condoms.
Boy, it doesn't sound like you're too excited about thinking about that, huh? So what else could you do to protect yourself?
Well, we could never have sex again, but that's not gonna happen.
Actually, a lot of people do decide to do that. Or some people decide for the rest of their lives to have sex only with one person who's only having sex with them. Some people decide to do things sexually that don't involve intercourse. Or some people decide that they're not willing to protect themselves and that they'd rather risk getting an infection that could kill them.
Okay, you're right. Condoms is what I ought to do.
So what do you really think about using condoms, Judy?
Well, I don't have anything against them, but you just can't get guys to use them.
Well, and what's happened when you've tried to get a guy to use one?
Well, I haven't really. But, I mean, how do you even talk to them about it? The first thing they're gonna say is, you don't trust me. And then the next thing is, now what have you been doing?
You're right. It's pretty hard stuff to talk about. But I hear you saying that it's pretty important stuff. And there's another hard part, Judy. That's saying to ourselves, am I so scared about talking about this that I'm willing to risk getting infected with something that could kill me?
No, of course not. But how do you talk about it?
Judy, I'm sure the health clinic told you that they would make sure that Rob got treated for this infection. He's probably already been contacted. And that Rob would not be told about you, only that he had become exposed to the infection, right?
Yeah, they said it would be confidential and that he wouldn't know that it was me.
Well,
but I'm sure he will figure it out.
Well, that's possible. How do you think he'll react to that?
I think he'd be really pissed.
Why do you think he'd be pissed?
Well, because he would probably think that I gave them his name. And I did.
Well, there was really good reason why you did give his name. I mean, if Rob didn't know that he had this, I mean, if he wasn't experiencing any symptoms at all, there's no way he could get treated for the infection. So by giving us his name, it's protecting both of you.
Yeah, I know, but I still don't think he's gonna like it.
So if you're gonna stay with him, one way or another, some conversation's gonna have to take place, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what? You and I, we could try having that conversation. I mean, sometimes practicing helps, okay? You could be Rob, since I don't know him at all, but I do know you a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, sure, we can give it a try.
Okay. Well, let's try to set it up. When do you think would be a good time to try to have this talk with Rob?
Maybe tonight. I have to babysit my little sister, and he usually comes over when I do that. I'd have to call him and ask him.
Okay. So what do you think that phone conversation would be like?
Well, we probably get into it right there.
Okay. So then you might want to pick a time and a place that could be kind of private. When do you think that would be?
When I get home from work, before my mother gets home from picking up my baby sister at daycare.
Okay. So what do you think you might say to start the conversation?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd tell me.
Okay, well, let's give it a try, okay? Now remember, you be Rob, and I'll be you. Rob, you know that Donna and I went down to this clinic today.
Yeah, and?
Well, I've got this infection. It's an infection you get from having sex.
Yeah, I heard. Now, you never told me you had something like that.
Well, I didn't know. And it's not like either one of us were virgins when we got together. And you're the only one that I've been with since New Year's, so I must have gotten it from you.
Oh, no way. There was nothing wrong with me until now.
Rob, I don't like this any more than you do, but at least now we can be treated for this thing. I'm not saying that I'm mad at you, okay? But the thing is...
Yeah, well, what are you saying?
Well, I don't want to get infected again. So I was thinking that...
Yeah?
Well, I've been thinking for the last couple of days, and I was talking to the counselor at the clinic about what we could do, you know? And I think we could use condoms.
Oh, sure, right. Now, you know how I feel about those things.
No, I really don't think I do.
Well, if you're wearing one of those, you might as well not be doing anything at all.
I know. I mean, I'm not crazy about the idea either, but what can we do to protect ourselves?
Protect ourselves? Protect ourselves from what?
Well, we got this one infection. I mean, there's a lot worse things out there, like AIDS.
Oh, so now you're saying I got AIDS?
No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that you get AIDS just like we got this infection. Wouldn't it be awful if one of us was with someone that had it and we didn't know it and we weren't doing anything to protect ourselves?
That's just great, just great.
Wow. So you really think I'll have a hard time with this, huh?
Yeah.
So, what do you think you do if he responds like that?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I do have to do something. I mean, I have to do something.
Judy, what if this was Donna's problem? What would you want her to do?
Well, I would want her to take care of herself, protect herself. I wouldn't want her to get sick or hurt.
So you'd be concerned not only about Donna's not getting infected, but how it would feel to risk losing her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean for you?
I don't know. Well, maybe I should get tested, you know, for AIDS. Well, just talking to Rob is going to be hard enough. I don't think I can handle a test.
Well, it's your decision. Just like it's your decision on what to do about Rob, what to do to protect yourself.
So then that's okay. We don't have to do the test today? We can put this off for another time?
Sure. You can come back another time. You can even come back with Rob. So, what do you want to do now?
Well, I don't want to get infected, so I guess I'm just going to have to talk to him.
Well, you know, Donna sounds like a good friend. What about asking her if she would practice the conversation that we had earlier?
Yeah, we do everything together.
Okay, that's great. Oh, I want to give you some condoms to take with you. There you go. I know, figuring out where to put those things can be a real challenge.
Well, if Rob and I ever get it on again, I'm just going to pull out one of these.
Well, that's pretty gutsy, you know. Right before sex is not always the best time to talk about using condoms. What about when Rob comes over for babysitting tonight? What do you think?
Yeah.
So, thinking about that phone conversation?
Yeah, but I just have to do it.
Well, what about starting by practicing with Donna maybe on the way back to work?
Yeah, okay. I could do that.
You know, taking care of yourself takes a lot of courage, just like it took a lot of courage to come in here today. Having a friend like Donna, somebody you can talk to, can really help. So, Judy, if Rob does react the way that you showed me earlier, what do you think you'll do?
I'll probably cry. Nah, I'd really want to knock his lights out.
So maybe he'll surprise you. The secret is to expect the best, but be prepared for the bad. How do you think Donna could help you if, you know, the bad happens?
She could knock his lights out. Nah, we're tight. I usually go to her when I'm upset about anything.
You know, Judy, you've taken some really important steps on protecting yourself. I mean, you've been with the same guy for 8 months, only sleeping with him. You've made it in here today. You've talked about some pretty private stuff with a total stranger. And you made the decision to talk to Rob. How are you feeling now?
Well, I wish none of this never happened, but this is just what I have to do now.
Well, there's a good chance that the clinic has already talked to Rob about what we've discussed here today. What do you think about making an appointment for the both of you to come in sometime next week and see me?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can't say if he'd go for that.
Well, of course not. But I could go ahead and set aside some time that the two of you could come in, or you, if that's how it turns out. You could give me a call in the morning. I'd really like to hear how it goes tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what do you think would be a good time to call me?
I usually get a break around 10:30 in the morning.
Okay, great. Why don't we go ahead and set up an appointment that a time you and Rob can come in?
I work the night shift next week, so I guess Monday would be okay.
Okay, great. Here, let me get you my card. It's got my number on it. There you go. And let's go ahead and set an appointment for 10 o'clock Monday morning?
Okay.
Okay. And I'll be waiting for a call from you tomorrow about 10:30. Okay.
Thanks. Thanks for talking with me.
Thanks for coming in. And remember, no matter how that conversation goes with Rob, you're on your way to protecting yourself. Good luck with that call, Judy.